Barflies? Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. Changes are a-coming. We got a little something. I mean, they might be like last-ditch effort, fucking drastic changes. But, hey, either way, they're coming. We'll get into that. We're going to get into last week's game. We'll get into this Monday night primetime game, and we know why we're here. Let me start this thing off with Mr. Ryan Badgley, Badge of Honor. Badge, what's up, man?
Happy Sunday morning, fellas. Woke up refreshed, slept very well.
That's good.
Kudos to our partners at Manscaped. You guys, just the products you provide just are second to none. And I thank you, Manscaped, for your great work in keeping the boys healthy and refreshed.
Man, Badge must have got some ass last night. Start this thing off going balls to the wall. You know what I'm saying?
The only way to go, dude.
Next, we got the bearded Bears fan, Mr. Aaron Curran, AC, the Kentucky kid. What's up, dude?
What's going on, fellas? I don't kiss and tell, but Manscaped, they keep your boy right too. It's a little chilly down here in Kentucky. We got some rain coming in today. Not a fan of it, but whatever. I told Badge I'm gonna watch some football, and I'm a little housekeeper today. I got some things to do around the house. I'm gonna have some football games on though.
Yeah, definitely. It's Sunday or having the Monday night games. Sundays are always, a little different. I mean, normally I'll just watch Red Zone instead of keying in on games, or I'll watch who we're going to play next week or whatever. But I mean, with so much drastic change week after week due to COVID, I don't know. It's just kind of not the same this year, watching games. But either way,
that honey-do list gets pretty long when you ain't got a game that day.
Yeah, got a lot of shit to take care of. Maybe you could take that list and pass it off to somebody else. I mean, we have thankfully seen Mr. Matt Nagy pass off his what do you want to call it? Denny's menu, his play sheet, his whatever. He's giving it up this week. He's giving up to Bill Lazor. We'll see how that thing goes, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But let's start this thing with the dreadful fucking 0 points scored in the first, second, and third quarter recap of a Bears game that the defense we were going up against was a pretty weak defense. And, the same old, man, fucking just put that thing on repeater, because it seems like the defenses we go up against are, minus the Colts and I don't know, just have been shit, right? And then we turn around and we still don't produce. We'll start this thing off against the Titans. Good news, right? Derrick Henry got held. 68 yards and 21 carries. One of the premier best back in the league got shut down. And I think that's really it. I don't know if there's any other good news. It seems like that was the only good news that came out of that game, man. We had 10 possessions before we even scored. It's just everything just looked awful, man. Everybody who's, hey, we need to get this guy involved. We need to get Komet involved. We need to do this. Like, none of that shit happened. I guess holding Derrick Henry to the yard, wasn't the only thing good, because I think Alex Barrs played very well.
I would agree.
So I think he came up, the beast, the defensive McCullers. That dude's humongous. He played very well. Yeah. But these are things that you talk about in the preseason, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel like I should be having this conversation right now about this guy. Oh, this guy did pretty well. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts on the preseason game? What'd you guys, the preseason game against the Titans? What'd you guys see?
Well, the biggest thing to me was the defense again showed up and did their job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They did enough to win. The offense, they just look piss poor, for lack of a better word. I don't know, man. It's difficult with the offensive line issues that we had. But like I had said in our preview show, Allen Robinson should have had himself a day. and it just seemed like they. I don't know if they weren't trying or they didn't think they had time to get him involved. In the run game, it seemed like we were able to, like Cordero Patterson was actually able to make the edge a few times.
Yeah.
But every time we tried to run it up the middle, there was just no push whatsoever. And I don't know if that's those three brand new guys on the interior that we had last week or if that goes back to. But I mean, it was just difficult to. I watched till zeros because that's the kind of fan I am.
Yeah,
but man, it was tough to watch.
It definitely was, dude. And go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just like, my wife she's always like, "Why are you still watching this?" I'm like, I have to.
My thing, guys, is rewatching it yesterday. I went back and I thought the defense absolutely 100% did its job. But there were a couple plays for me that stood out on that very first series. Kyle Fuller's got to pick that pass off and return it to the house because unfortunately this offense isn't going to do shit. So when we have an opportunity to take a ball back he's got to pick it. And I'm not knocking Kyle Fuller. This guy has played lights out, phenomenal football all season. But that's one you have to have. And then later on in the game, Jalen Johnson had the opportunity at 1-2. Now, granted, the receiver kind of maybe impeded him a little bit, but I don't really think the receiver knew where the ball was. So Jalen Johnson had an opportunity. Eddie Jackson, dude's playing really well, can't fucking tackle to save his life. Multiple times now this season, he's been in position to make a play, and a guy breaks away from him. And I don't know what he needs to do to figure that out, but plays that could be an 8-yard gain, maybe an 11-yard gain, are going for 25 and 30 yards. We can't have that shit. Cannot have it.
I feel like he just tries to throw a shoulder. Like he never raps. He just tries to throw his shoulder into somebody and hopes they fall.
You guys think so? I know. I totally agree with you, Badge. He's been blowing some tackles, man, and giving up big yardage. And granted, if there's like little things that we could find on the defense, right? If the Bears turned around and had like 3 turnovers that game, right, or whatever, 3 interceptions, and Eddie took one to the house, you kind of be a little more forgiving of the be like, oh, Eddie's got to tackle better, and that'd probably be the end of it, right? But when we're talking and saying like that, we have to have this defense score. We're making the defense the offense. And we're saying like, yo, we need that one. Do you think these players feel the same way? Like
100%.
The ball's coming at them and they're like, shit, I need this. Like, we got to punch it. I need to take this back. And it's putting that added pressure on them of, you know what I mean? Of like just the nervousness, I guess, or making them be clutch. And then they drop the pick or they drop one. We've seen we've seen Kyle Fuller drop some clutch interceptions.
Yeah.
We've seen the one against the Green Bay. He would have taken that thing and it literally right in the breadbasket and just falls out. You know what I mean?
I definitely think maybe not so much early in the game like that. They're not thinking that.
Yeah.
But as the game goes on and they see that this offense just can't do shit, that, then that pressure starts to build like, holy shit, it's 17-0 in the fourth quarter starting, and our offense can't pick up 4 yards. So I think as that pressure, as the game goes on, they definitely start to feel that pressure. Mario Edwards, I thought, had, I know Barlissimo did a piece on him a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Mario Edwards, I thought, has been playing very well, as Barlissimo said.
He's been a hell of a
Roquan Smith was another guy who last week fucking balled out. I mean, he played a phenomenal game, man. Like, just was great. And, you can't, other than the tackling on the defensive side of the ball, you can't really hate on the defense. It's the lackluster offense that
Yeah, it seemed like other than the two big passes to AJ Brown, I can't really remember. No, I didn't go back to watch it like you did, Badge. You're a better man than me. But other than the two big plays to AJ Brown, I can't remember like
we held the number one running back in the NFL in check. The quarterback barely broke 100 yards, and we fucking lost. And we lost. That's a problem. And I know Nagy, we'll get into him giving up play calling and so on and so forth, but I'm sorry. It ain't going to fucking change a thing. I really don't believe that somebody else talking to Nick Foles makes any sort of difference. The scheme sucks balls.
Well, I think so. What's it called? Nagy did say that, like, Lazer's still going to run his scheme, but he's going to put his own little, his own little piece on it, right? And I think Laser will. Well, I mean, not that it's going to be hard to do, right? But I think Lazer's offense is going to be better than Nagy's offense. I think he's going to be able to do that little kind of like the West Coast thing that he did where he, adds in more screens and he's shown in the past that he can do it. Now, then again, he's had issues doing it also. I think 3 out of 4 of his teams or whatever I was reading were like, top 10 in rushing when he was doing it. So I wouldn't say that it's all going to be shit. Right. But I think that especially the offense knows, like, these are, fucking grown ass men. They know that their offense sucks right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that change, that little motivation to try to play better for somebody or to do, you know what I mean? And I think bringing in Laser is going to fire those dudes up to try to do better, to not let Laser down. And I think for Nagy, it's a win-win no matter what. Like, who gives a fuck? If Laser comes out and Laser's offense is not working, Nagy's like, see, it wasn't me. It's the offensive line problem and it's this and that problem, right? If Laser's offense comes out and it's fucking just erupts and does awesome, Nagy's like, see, I made a good call there, giving the fucking plays over to Laser. So I think for him, it's a no-lose situation. Like, whatever, it doesn't matter for him.
Well, I think a big thing with Laser is up here in Cincinnati, he was really well using the two-headed monster at running back, and he gets the tight ends involved. So I feel like we should see Jimmy Graham and Cole Kmet get used quite a bit tomorrow.
Yeah, well, like Barlissimo just said, that's what I was talking about, where I said like that whole West Coast style, but Laser loved like that whole pre-snap motion, like moving people.
That shows the quarterback kind of what defense they're in usually.
Yeah, but it's not like Nagy doesn't adjust to that though. We were running man burners against zone for the past fucking couple weeks, and we're like doing dumb shit. So what? Like the sense of motion is to figure
field goal range. Let's throw a fucking screen. God, that made me so freaking mad.
And damn, like,
I'm sorry. That's what makes me believe there's going to be no. I just don't think it's going to matter who the play caller is. It's the offensive scheme is shit. And that's I just think, I keep hopes that something will change and something will be different until I see it. I can't, I just don't see a difference. I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, now you're down David Montgomery. So, and you already don't have Tariq Cohen. Now you saw Cordero Patterson say in his presser, hey, next man up, he's ready to carry the workload, but he's not an every down running back. Not that there's many of those in the NFL anymore. So now you're relying on third stringer Ryan Nall, Artavius Pierce, if he gets a chance. And if Lamar Miller, I mean, this guy, I don't know that he's fully healthy. So now
nobody knows.
You take the chance of making him active. And, I think people are kind of overreacting to Lamar Miller. Like he's 30 years old or maybe even over 30 and he's coming off an ACL and you got people going, oh, I can't wait. Let's get Lamar Miller on the field.
Dude,
Guys,
it's fucking Ryan
gonna
Nall
happen?
season, baby. It's
somebody
Ryan
picked up
Nall.
Ryan Nall in the
Nall's
fantasy
about
group.
to fucking explode. This dude's gonna go crazy.
Dude, I'm with it. I like Ryan Nall. I really do. Kudos to him getting his first NFL touchdown last week too. Nice little reception into the flat. Ran through a couple dudes, diving into the end zone. Kudos to Ryan Nall, man.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? You gotta put your hope on something. Like, let's go with Ryan Nall. Beck, even Matthew Beck, he wants Nall over Patterson. I do too. I think Nall runs with honestly, and this, I guess it is a shot at Montgomery, but I think Nall runs with more passion than Montgomery runs with. I think he runs with more confidence. I think he's got like this little spark to him. And you've seen it even on plays that he's not getting the ball. You've seen this dude, like, he's still moving with a full head of steam. Yeah. He's still going after people. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping this kid does something right. I mean, maybe because it's like the last hope that we have, but either way, I think he runs with a little more passion than I think Montgomery is, I won't say scared, but I mean, and let me know.
Maybe bad for Montgomery, man. He gets the ball and he's got a dude in his face 3 yards into the backfield, man. That's
every time.
And then I go on Twitter and people are like, Montgomery sucks, get him out of here. And I'm like, dude, what game are you watching? You know what I'm saying? If Derrick Henry had a defensive tackle in his face every time he got the ball, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing either.
Yeah, I would say that, and I know I said it before or whatever, but on other shows, but I think some of the biggest plays that Montgomery's had this year have been broken, right? He's supposed to go, supposed to go this way and he goes that way. Yeah. And I think he's so disciplined, and it's not that it's a bad thing. I just think he's so disciplined and hey, I gotta, like, this is where the play's supposed to go. That he gets to where he's supposed to go, and there might be an opening like next to it or whatever, but he's like, no, I'm putting my head right here. This is where it goes.
Yeah.
And the offensive line isn't good enough to make a play go where it's supposed to. I mean, there might be a hole, but it's like way over here or way over there. But, I mean, to expect him to do that is I believe is asking too much. You can't just, hey, dude, we're going to give you the ball and find a hole. I mean, the things should work together. It's not a me sport. And yeah, it does come back to the offensive line. But I think with the lack of this offensive line and with the troubles or whatever you want to call it, right, that Montgomery has kind of been tiptoeing, and he's not exploding after the handoff. He's not fucking full steam ahead into the line and trying to find the hole. He's kind of, I won't say dancing, but he's kind of, still trying to make a decision when he gets the ball back there, and it's hindering him a little bit. What's George's questions? Bears.
No, he didn't have a question. He said he had a question, but I didn't see him post it, so I just posted this comment.
Oh, okay. I know he said he had one.
Yeah. Post that question, George, and we'll get it answered. I just, the other thing I wanted to talk about last week was Pat O'Donnell continued to just punt the football well, considering he maybe had, 8 to 10 punts.
Yeah.
He averaged, I think, 59 yards last week. Did a great job. And then, oh my God, was there a Riley Ridley sighting?
Yeah, he can plays, dude.
Oh my freaking God! It's a miracle.
Hey, all it takes is to be fucking spit on and punch another dude in the face. You know what I mean? Get spit on, punch somebody else in the face, have a dude come up lame on one play, and then boom, you're on the field. And here we go.
All right, here we go. I got the question from George here. My question is, should Nagy give up play calling for 2 years in the same way Trubisky has been blamed?
Well, if he gives up play calling and we don't turn anything around, hopefully we'll have we're going to hit reset in this offseason.
I honestly think Nagy should give up play calling forever.
I think it'll help with his clock management.
I don't care how it goes with Laser.
Yeah, when you got guys fighting on the field and you didn't see it because your head was in your play sheet, that's an issue. When you're having delay of, oh my goodness, and you guys know we're in a group chat. Every freaking week there's a delay of game. Got to call a timeout because there's 1 second on the freaking play clock. This is year 3 of your offense, bro.
Yeah,
this was supposed to be the year.
The first down we got was a fake punt that Mingo took off with. And then the next play, delay a game or a timeout. I don't remember which one it was, but it blows my freaking mind. How are you this inept? How are you this bad at clock management that you don't have the right guys on the field in the right position?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what Nick Foles said to Brian Greasy prior to Thursday Night Football, where the time needed to get a play in and get everybody set. I don't think I look at that comment and go, he fucking totally said that to Brian Greasy. 100% said it to Brian Greasy. That's clearly an issue. And I think he's a player's coach without a shadow of a doubt. This offensive guru shit that was, spilled to Bear fans and this, that, and the other thing. And he got Andy Reid coming. Oh, man, he's the best guy I've had under me. Hand me a cheeseburger, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It was a ploy to get this guy a head coaching job, which he's gotten. And in his first year, everybody bought it.
It's easy to look like an offensive guru when you've got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid really calling the shots.
Yeah. I mean, even Alex Smith, that last year, it was like, okay, Alex Smith is, this guy looks really good.
Yeah, but Andy Reid was calling the shots, really. I mean, Nagy was just
and that's
under
the
his
difference.
tutelage.
I don't know. I like Nagy. I as a coach, I do. I like the fact that he's a player's coach. But again, I don't like the fact that he doesn't hold guys accountable. After the game, he should have came when he was asked about, that 4th down, and he should have said, you know what, that's on. I don't remember who it was on. Latavius Simmons. I can't remember, but can't have that.
I'm right.
And then Jimmy Graham, a veteran, does it again. It does. It's the second or third time.
And we were in field goal range. Why were we even going for it?
I know.
I know. 10-0 at the time.
Yep. And Cairo Santos is 15 of 17 on the season. Like, why not? Try to pick up the first down, and if it doesn't work, be done with it. And that leads me. The last thing, guys. I'm sorry to go back. That fucking goal line play where they tried the shuffle pass to Al. What the fuck? What are you thinking in that situation? You suck in the red zone. And your
was that the one where Rashad Coward was in the backfield?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. It was like Rashad Coward fucking fell backwards. Didn't even attempt to fucking block anybody.
Yeah,
he's disrupted more offensive plays as an offensive tackle than he ever did as a defense.
I posted that from the Twitter account.
Yeah, you cracked me up with that.
Like Rashad Coward has now caused more. Well, I forget exactly what I said, but caused more pressure in the backfield as an offensive lineman than he ever did as a defensive lineman. Like, damn.
You look at these comments. Special teams actually looks good this year. I mean, that's been our problem for the last few years. Yeah. Now we got, Donald punting well. Cairo Santos looks fantastic. Our defense is still stellar. And we've got, a fucking 3-wheel bicycle as an offense, and one wheel's missing and the other one's bent.
Yeah. It's been, we get to see him a lot. So, I guess that's, if that's what we're basing our shit off of, we definitely get to see Pat O'Donnell a lot this year.
Yeah.
Who knows? I feel like I'm watching Kentucky. That's something Steve Spurrier used to say. Well, they got a hell of a punter up there.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. A game that we should have had, I think we fucking blew it. And this team has dropped, dramatically, dude. We're on a 3-game slide. 5-4 now, coming up against a division rival who has knocked off 2 divisional opponents in back-to-back weeks. We know, I mean, we all get that Cousins can't play in prime time. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's just a thing, man. It's actual. He can't
Oh,
win
for
in
9
prime.
on Monday nights.
Like, come on, man. And we got this team coming in. Another divisional opponent is. What do you think from here? If we go 5-5, is it done? Are we just done for the year? I mean, I know it's not really something that people would say, but where we're
the season is teetering. If
yeah,
I mean, I always want my team to win. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But if we lose Monday, I feel like you're in that part of the season where you either want them to win out and make a playoff run, or just say screw it, lose out, hit reset, get a new GM, coach, and quarterback in here for next year. That's the way I feel.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think
I think it needs to happen. I don't see how 3 years with this and we still don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I'm going to put it like this. If we go out Monday night and lose to the Vikings, we're 5-5. We have our bye week, right? What do we do history-wise after our bye week? We shit the fucking bed. Yeah. So already, if we lose this week, you can pretty much chalk up a loss after the
Packers
week.
After the bye.
It doesn't matter who we're playing. It really doesn't. I mean, this is, so now you're 5-6. Now, if you're Ryan Pace and Ted Phillips and George McCaskey sitting at Hallis Hall, and you started this season 5-1. And now you're sitting there after your bye week at 5-6. Now, I've seen people on Twitter calling for Nagy's head if we lose Monday night. They think he should be fired Monday night, so then they can get an interim in there during the bye week. And then,
have 2 weeks.
It doesn't matter if they fire Nagy now or at the fucking end of the season. Do I think they're going to do it? No. I 150% agree with Bobby. Pace and Nagy, I don't feel are going anywhere at any point in time. I think they will be back next season. But if this team loses Monday night, guys, to me, the only team I can see them beating after this is maybe Jacksonville. Because I'm telling you right now, there's no way Detroit is going to lose to us again. I just don't think the players would allow what transpired, in week 1 to happen again. I just don't. I mean, how can you have confidence if this team comes out and lays an egg Monday night? How can you guys have confidence in an offense that we just haven't? I mean, it's done nothing. You've seen, I'd say in the last few weeks, maybe 2-3 good plays, like in a time in the game where you're trying to get something going, not fourth quarter plays where it's prevent defense and guys are playing off. I mean, you got to go back, 2 weeks to, the 2 plays by Darnell Mooney and Allen Robinson. That's the flashes that you see that you're like, ooh, maybe this can. And to me, the offensive line, it's an excuse. These guys are pros. They're in the NFL. I get it. A lot of them are young, and this is their first experience in the league. I mean, Alex Barr's playing center for the first time ever. Thought he played really well, but
we didn't see any snaps hit the ground, which was awesome.
I mean, you had Foles fumble the one, like I want to say in the third quarter, but I mean, here we are, guys. Week 10, and we've scored 7 points in the third quarter the entire fucking season.
Yeah. I mean, dude, all of that is on Nagy. And I really don't care who you have injured. I don't give a fuck. Like, replace the whole offensive line, lose Pro Bowl. Like, it happens every year to different teams. And somehow teams still find a way to go. Like, stop using excuses and use your fucking offensive guru mind that you supposedly have. How about you figure it out? How about you figure out how to move the pocket, how to get away from one of your weaknesses and give yourself some more time. Nick Foles is like straight dancing back there. He tries to get rid of the ball so fast, even when there's not pressure, because he has zero confidence in the offensive line. Not that he should. I mean, he shouldn't have any confidence in him. The running game is just absolutely fucking atrocious. We try the biggest play we have, and I know Badge mentioned it earlier, is to Barcavius Mingo on a fake fucking punt. And that gets us a first down. And it's sad that like with this talent that we have, with the Moonies, with the A-Robs, you know, with Montgomery, with all this, you can still find a way to get them involved in your offense. The problem is he tries to be like this whole fucking, well, Mitch only learned 1.0 and now he's coming at 2.0 and he's going to be great next year and whatever. Like, how about you just dumb it the fuck down and move the ball? Like, I don't care how like,
hey, he wasn't brought here to run that formation, Bobby.
Yeah, my offense is so intricate and it's fucking,
and
it has
all
many
these
levels.
issues we speak to me, points to get his ass out the door. I'm tired of it.
I mean, it's like it has many levels. You know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have first downs, asshole. Like, how about you dumb it down? Like, I don't care how much shit you put into your car, or how much this engine cost you, or how much it's going to take to rebuild this or rebuild that. If the thing doesn't fucking run, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's the part that pisses me off with him. And the whole had a great practice this week.
That's a Mark Trestman.
Telling you guys, well, things are looking good. You know, I feel really confident in this guy. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. And like,
all right, guys, I got
how about just move the ball downfield?
Our buddy Barlissimo here just jumped on. George, what's up, brother?
What up, George?
Hi, guys. Loving the broadcast as always. But I think, Badge, you're absolutely spot on with the offensive line, mate. I did a breakdown last week, and I was looking at individually responsibilities and the way that guys are playing. And play calling has a massive part to do with it, and the inability to actually adjust to what the defense is doing at the line of scrimmage. And that largely is because we're so goddamn slow to come out of the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage that we can't ID the front, we can't ID the pressures, they're sending late blitzers, and that's just stuff in the run game. So, you know, these early motions, getting out of the huddle early, all of that can help. Situational play calling can help. And the thing is, you know, if you give these guys a chance, Alex Barr's his first ever game at center, not high school, not college, not the NFL, ever. Without a week of practice, guys. There was no practice last week. Arlington Hambright came in from the practice squad, no practice. And those guys were being asked to block single to cover, like, Ifeadi pulling on a goal line, first and goal from the 4. That play that they ran. Jesus H. Christ, what are you doing?
You're right.
It's just, honestly, it's just, I'm watching it and I'm like, I would not employ this person to coach a high school team.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not. I mean, I think in our little private chats, we've been having the same conversation during games. They're definitely not putting any of the offensive linemen in a position to win. They're not there's nothing to win. They're getting no help. And then coming out so late with the new center, like, who is even calling fronts and adjustments? Like, who's doing that, if anybody?
Well, to my mind now, I mean, what Alex Barr showed us that this week is the guy can play anywhere in the front 5. The guy can play anywhere.
Get Coward out of there and put him on left guard.
I would have him at left tackle. I would keep Arlington Hambright as left guard. I would have Mustafa Wenfit at centre. I would have Cody Whitehair at right guard. And I would have Spriggs at right tackle. That would be my 5. Because those are the guys that have shown the most impetus, quickest off the line. They've shown that they can handle a block one-on-one, that they can get out in space, and they actually attack people. You know, the key word of an offensive line is the very first word, offensive. I mean, too often we're sat trying to, let me catch you in a block. Let me wait for you to put you. And it's just, honestly, I'm watching it. I'm like, dude, if I was coaching this, guys, I'd be punching people in the helmet when they were coming off the field. I'd be giving them a Javon Wims, you know what I mean? I'd be slapping them up the side of the head.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why I just thought about it. We had a coach when I was a kid. You messed up on the play. This dude had like his keys and he had a shitload of them, but they were on like a string right? And you come off the field, you do something stupid, he'd throw them at your helmet, and they'd be like, bing, they hit you in the helmet, and then they'd go like this, all the way back to his hip, like it was the damn yo-yo.
I tell you what, Charles Leonard spends that much time on the field, on the floor. He's spending a lot more time when he came to the sideline on it. I'll be saying, all right, give me 10 up downs. Give me 10 up downs.
Yeah.
Come on, fat buddy. You want to lie on the floor? Let's see you lie on the floor.
Yeah,
it's just.
I think you're spot on, George. I mean, it's no surprise, but I think you're spot on, man. I think that this offensive line is more of a sit back and wait for them to come at you. They don't attack anything. And part two of it is their hand fighting sucks. Like normally good offensive linemen, you get, there's a lot of hand fighting. They get up under the pads. They get to that point, and I think that this hand fighting is just horrible, and they don't attack. Their first step is back.
So there's two styles of hand fighting, and you've got to know your opponent. So if you've got a good defensive lineman, you have to show a hand. You have to show a hand to see what his technique is. You put a hand up, and he'll go for it. He'll go for it with his move. Then you back, you let the distance close, and then you reset. You get your head up, your ass down, you stick your face under his helmet, and then you get your hands inside, and you've got control. We don't do that. We play catch.
Yeah, exactly.
Either going out too quickly, we're over our feet, and we're dipping ahead like your Fady does all the time, or we're trying to play catch like Jimmy Graham does. Jimmy Graham should not be at the first tight end at the end of the line of scrimmage. That is Cole Kmet's job from now on. As far as I'm concerned, he should be the dude. If you want to tighten on the end of the line of scrimmage, by a tackle, that should be Kmet, and then Harris, and then Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham's got no business being at the end of the line of scrimmage because he cannot block. He's got no idea technique-wise what he's doing. He's okay in space as like a body-on-body blocker, a position blocker, but he can't block in line. He just can't do it.
My thing is with the tight ends is where is Jesper Horsted? Because Graham in the pass game, I'm fine with. His blocking, obviously, George, as you touched on, is shit. Demetrius Harris, to me, it's a wasted roster spot. Having this guy on the field, he does nothing to make an impact. So why not get this young kid who showed out a little bit at the end of last season? Is he not good enough, George? What's the deal with Horsted?
No, So he's blocking. Both of the tight ends that were on the practice squad last season that came in towards the end of the season. There was him and another one, wasn't there, towards the end? Both of those guys, their in blocking was plus effort. Yeah, technique wasn't always perfect, but the effort was there. Well, do you know what? I don't see any of that nastiness with the guys we've got at the moment. They've got the contract, and I think that's the thing, is that one of the things he touched upon earlier about Nagy and the reason why maybe he shouldn't be calling plays and he shouldn't be the OC, he thought the fix the last 2 seasons, since he's been here, he thought the fix to getting his offense going was tight ends.
Yeah, and they've been underutilized.
He could have Travis Kelce, he could have George Kittle. They still wouldn't be getting the ball because there'd be no time to get it off. Unless you've got a competent O-line, which Kansas City does, and they do what the guys can actually block, then you got a chance to run an offense. And until you can block up front, the inconsistencies will always rear their head. And that's what we're seeing in the offense is that there is just constant flux. It's constant inconsistency. You don't know whether it's going to be a penalty this play. You don't know whether Leonard's going to let someone inside him on a quick route to the quarterback. You don't know whether Fady's going to drop his head and get swung around, facing the wrong way at the line of scrimmage after 2 seconds. Really? Yeah. An NFL lineman facing the wrong way? How many times have we seen 4 or 5 guys chasing our QB with 4 or 5 guys in the line facing the wrong way from the line of scrimmage?
Yep.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous. Let me ask you this, George. All right. So Nagy turns over play calling right now. This is something that at least, on our show, I know other shows have talked about for the last few weeks. This week, I felt really the national media really brought that attention to the next level. Do you believe that Nagy made this call himself, or did it come from Pace, Phillips, McCaskey to?
I said this with Fred Hibner yesterday, and that's that. I really do believe that what's going to happen is Nagy's going to hand it over to his mate Bill Lazor, who he's been doing his game plans with him, spent a year unemployed until Nagy decided to hire him. I mean, we had a competent play caller last year. Mark Helfrich can call plays.
Mm-hmm.
Helfrich is a good offensive coordinator. He is akin to that Chip Kelly mold. He's shown that in both the places he's called plays. But we got rid of Helfrich, and we got his mate, Bill Lazor. Well, Bill Lazor's going to call plays this week. He's not going to look that dissimilar to what Nagy called. Situationally, play style, all the rest of it's going to be similar. The difference with Lazor is possibly he might play better situational football. Possibly he might do things like, on first and goal from the 4, he might have 4 split wide with a single back in the backfield, use the motion to get the defense to declare what they're doing, and then off the back of that, it's either slants and floods or it's a quick draw up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if they have a light box and they're going to be covering the receivers and tight ends, then we're going to run up the middle. And if they don't cover them, if they're going to zone it, then we throw a quick slant with a rub. It's or a jump ball to a Jimmy Graham or stuff like that. You might see that from Lazor, but I think Nagy's doing it so that he can say at the bye week, look, we changed the play calling, I handed it over to someone else, the most qualified person other than me to call plays, and there was no difference, so we're going to go back to me. That's what I suspect is being set up.
So what if it does come out and Lazor's putting up points? Do you think Nagy eventually takes it back, or do you think he lets him ride the hot hand?
Well, like you say, I think that's a win-win for Nagy, isn't it? Because if the offense clicks and it goes the right way, then it's like, oh look, I handed it over, I did what's best for the team, I put the guy in a position to be able to do what he can do, and I was able to focus on what was going on the field and keep an eye from a head coach point of view. And Bill's done a great job, and blah 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 blah. Aren't I wonderful? And if it bombs, well, I told you it wasn't the play calling. Win-win.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. So I'm thinking, so you've seen Nagy's play calling. You've seen it for the last few years, right? Are we a better team without Nagy calling plays, no matter who's on the other side of it?
I put this contention out there a while ago, and I firmly believe that this is the truth of the matter. If you put 20 or 30 plays on a wristband for either quarterback, Mitch Trubisky or Nick Foles, and you say to Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky, okay, between the 20s, you call what you want. You call what you want from there. And then if we need to, if it's going fast and we're moving the ball and it's all going well, you carry on calling plays. If there's something situationally that I'm seeing from the sideline or we're seeing from the booth that you're not, we'll slow it down. I truly believe that if you've got quarterbacks who can call plays for themselves, then they will. I mean, if they start getting too pass happy, do you know what I mean? Then, you maybe have to take it out of their hands. But I'm a firm believer, if you've got a quarterback who can diagnose what's going on the line of scrimmage, as Nick Foles can, and as I believe that Mitch Trubisky can with the plays that he knows, get them running the stuff that they know, get them running the stuff that they can block. That's who I think they should probably think about giving the play calling to. The guys are running the plays. And I mean, say
Foles
that
has said he's
they're
comfortable
competent enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And
I think Foles could do it. I honestly don't know if Mitch could do it. I think Mitch
did it.
The perfect example for Nick. The example for Nick Foles is the case for him is that play that he called for David Montgomery on the swing pass. Adam Robinson, rub. And they ran that rub, and then Montgomery did the swing outside, and he just plopped it over the head, and away he went. Yeah. That's an example of him being able to see and diagnose what's going on the field. But too often, Nagy will call stuff, and it's like that. I keep going back to that first and goal from the 4-play, and the reason why is because from the defensive alignment, they were lined up over the guards. And we had a guard pulling. What's the problem there, Badge?
We had a
guard pulling from a center's right hand.
Come out in the freaking shotgun
What's
formation.
the problem there, Badge?
George,
shotgun formation for someone who's never shotgun snapped. Yeah, I mean, I should be all right. I'm in a decent area now, or I should be okay. A shotgun snap, right hand, and you got a defensive tackle over the guard's right hand, and you got a guard. The guard is pulling away from there, and you're expecting a centre who's never played centre before to be able to pick up that block.
Yeah. Get all the way across his face and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just cover 1.5 gaps. You did that on your own on your staff hand,
We believe in you. You'll be okay.
Yeah, be you, Alex. I mean, I can't see anything going wrong with this play.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Be you and Jermaine Ifedi at the same time. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Coach.
All right, so running back situation, George. Running back situation. Obviously, Montgomery's out. We got Null. We got CP. We got maybe a Pierce sighting. We got guys back there that can do it. What's your take on these running backs and about David Montgomery's season so far?
So David Montgomery, the thing that I've seen with David Montgomery is that the plays where there has been some sort of blocking up front, where he's made hay is where he's actually been a little bit patient waiting for blocks to develop because he's able to go either side. I know what you're saying about hitting it up early, which is fine if there's a block there early. And far too often, the block is not blocked the way that it needs to be. So he's having to adjust before he gets to the line of scrimmage, which he's able to do because David Montgomery has decent vision. Now, Null is the guy that you want if you want to just say, right, open a slight seam and just bludgeon him 3 yards, massive ball of dust. Because every now and again he'll get a gap and he'll go because he is strong and he's quite fast. Cordarrelle Patterson should be limited just to toss play because he just doesn't see the gaps inside. He doesn't read the offensive line.
He's better in space. I mean, if he's the best kick returner we've had since Hester, then obviously he's good in space rather than just.
It's a common theme, isn't it? Put guys in a position where they can do what they're best at doing.
Yeah. That's a crazy idea. That's a crazy idea.
It's like having that guard that was what was he 5'6" was he? That guard. It's like saying to him, okay, go play the low post. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? Are you psychotic?
Yeah.
It's just honestly. It's just all kinds of dents. It's a case of like saying,
"You'll never see it coming."
Yeah, you're a mauler, you're an earth mover, but you can't move a yard and a half sideways, Jermaine Ifedi. Let's get you pulling. That sounds like a good idea. Arlington Hambright, the fastest guy off the ball. Let's not bother getting to ball. Let's get you single blocking and nose tackle. Yeah, okay, yeah, great, yeah. Thanks, boss. I'll do that. Yeah.
Hey, it looks good when it's drawn out on paper and there's nobody in those positions. It's just that people can't execute to what they're supposed to do.
I think Nagy needs to put on the playbook, be Coach Klein from The Waterboy. Where he's drawing up plays, he starts faking himself. He thinks about faking. He pretends to think about faking. Yeah. That's kind of where we are. I don't know if you remember on the bar room we interviewed Jamin Elliott. Delaware player, ex-Bear who played with Nagy at Delaware. And he said that basically the coordinator just resigned during a game the one time, and Nagy was just calling stuff, making stuff literally, like sandlot plays in the huddle. I think he's doing it on the sideline.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably is.
Honestly, I think he's drawing up new stuff each week, thinking this will work. This will work against that front. This is a great play. Yeah, but we've never blocked it before, Coach. What if they do something different? But they don't. They do this on tape, and this will work. I really like this play. We're going to run this play. Yeah, but what about if we just split them out wide and we have a single back in the backfield, and then if there's 5 in the box, we run it, and then if there's like 7 in the box, we pass it. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to run this toss sweep reverse jet motion on the fly.
Oh God!
I mean, and you've seen
here in Kentucky, man. They'll put 3 or 4 wide receivers on one side of the field, have the running back next to your quarterback. If you see all your corners over there, you run this way. If you see them spread out, you freaking throw it.
Look at the percent. Look at the percentages. If Cordarrelle Patterson is in the backfield and we're in the gun, we are running it.
To him,
If it's under center, it's going to somebody else, and it's like if Montgomery's in the backfield and we're under center, we're running it. If he's in the backfield and it's in gun, we're passing it. It's like it's not difficult for a defense to look at and say, right, okay, this is where they're going. That's what they're doing. Yeah. Okay, all we need to do let's double up on Allen Robinson because that's really all they got. Well, guess what? We got Darnell Mooney now. So let's use. I mean, the one thing that is encouraging is they're starting to use Darnell Mooney on like speed outs, slants, little sort of like bubble motions, those sorts of things. Where you jet him across and you just swing it to him in the flat. Well, that's fine if you're sending everyone across the other way. That's what they need to do. Get people like Darnell Mooney in space, Cordarrelle Patterson in space, run some play action. And when I say run play action, go 4 wide. Have a tight end split wide because that tells you whether it's man or zone. You split a tight end badge furthest from the line of scrimmage and you get a linebacker go out with him. What's that telling you? It's man.
He doesn't do it out there. Yeah, he doesn't do it ever. Yeah.
And if the tight end is out there and the cornerback's on him, well, guess what? Jimmy Graham's 6'7", the cornerback's 5'10". What are we going to do?
Exactly. I mean, and then we even seen, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but we even seen Nagy come out and run the same exact plays after the half that he started the game with.
Yeah, first three. Yeah. I mean, I actually said after I saw the second one, I said, let me guess what this next play is. It's this. And it was like,
I mean, if we could sit on a couch and figure it out, I mean, come on. Like,
well, guess what defensive coordinators are doing? They're rubbing their hands. It's like the plot from The Water Boy, only we don't have the Water Boy.
The defense doesn't have to plan for the run.
Hey,
they can just pin their ears back.
Remember when Bobby Boucher came back at halftime and took the Mud Bugs to the Bourbon Bowl? Do you remember that?
I would like to play close time.
So we're going to see Coach Nagy on the sideline this week talking to the football. I need your cooperation, and I need it now.
Giving it that. No, I'm interested to see who's Farmer Fran on the sideline. My money's on Coach Ragone.
Yeah.
George, thank you so much for joining us, man. We got to have you on again, man. We definitely will for sure, but
always a pleasure, George.
You guys know I love you guys, and you're always my go-to on sort of Sundays pre-game.
Thank you, sir.
Just keep it up, dudes. You're brilliant. I love you all. Right,
appreciate it, man. Take care, George.
George. Have a good one, brother. That was Barrelissimo. You can catch him. Just look at it at Barrelissimo on Twitter, and he's got a lot of YouTube stuff going. He's got a Tape Tells series going where he's breaking down tape and everything. So check out George. Check out everything he's got. Check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe, rate it. Only rate it if you're gonna rate good. But either way, I'm sure you will. He's got all good stuff going on, man, and it's always a pleasure having him on. And I miss our talks, man. I miss talking to George. We used to talk a lot, and back and forth, even whether it was through text or whatever. But George is a great dude, man, and just a stand-up guy he's a realist. He's not gonna sugarcoat anything, man. He's gonna call it like it is, man, and tell you exactly what he thinks. And there's always added depth to his decision, right? It's not a fan-based decision or anything. Right. It's a calculated decision, man. And we appreciate everything you put out, George, and thanks for coming on this morning. All right, boys, let's
get into this Vikings game, huh?
I know.
So we got a little history lesson here.
Yeah. Give us a history.
So the history between the Bears and Vikings looks like this. The Vikings actually lead this series 60 wins to 56 losses with 2 ties. The last game these two teams played, obviously, last season on December 30th. The Bears winning that one 21-19. And actually, the Bears have won the last 4 games in a row after the Vikings had beat us 3 straight times. So I know we're all hoping for the 5th straight win on Monday night. But there's a lot that's going to play into that, guys. And obviously, we just had that long conversation with George about play calling and so on and so forth. But this Vikings offense with Dalvin Cook, who's top 2 in rushing, catches the ball out of the backfield. Then you still got Adam Thielen, who's a great pass catcher still. They added Justin Jefferson. He's having a phenomenal year.
Yeah, he's leading that team in receiving.
Yeah, leading the team receiving. Then you look at the tight ends. You've got Irv Smith Jr., Kyle Rudolph still there making plays. I went back and watched their game last week against the Lions. And, I mean –
I think Smith is out this week.
Oh, he got hurt last week? I must have missed it.
I feel like I saw something about concussion or something.
Okay. Well, Kyle Rudolph's still a force to be reckoned with in the middle of the field. He had multiple catches in the middle of the field during the game last week. So, and that's, to me, our defense is where we're most vulnerable, guys, is in the middle of the field. We talked about it last week.
The Titans didn't take advantage of it until like the end of the game when they finally hit Jonnu Smith. But to be honest, I was more scared of Derrick Henry than I am Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook does really well against everyone, but for some reason our defense just has his number. When we just Akeem Hicks and those guys, they just get in there and shut him down. And once you start shutting Dalvin Cook down early, it's like he gets down on himself and he just kind of quits.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years, even Dalvin Cook's like rushed for 87 yards a game against other teams. Against the Bears, he's 28 yards a game. But this dude did. I mean, recently, obviously, I got him on fantasy, and AC didn't like that the 1 week. But
my 1 point.
Yeah, he recently exploded though, man. And like these last 2 weeks, he's got 478 all-purpose yards and 6 touchdowns, man. So receiving and rushing, I mean, he went over 200 the one game. The other game he had like 163, and then receiving you throw 60 and a 50 or a 40 in there, or whatever. But this dude's got 6 touchdowns, and he's just kind of been their bread and butter, man. And we're hitting them. We're getting to them at a time where we are on the slide and they're on a come up. You know what I mean? And they have every reason to fight. But then again, look at the one season where it was the last game of the season. We were already in the playoffs, right? They had a win to make the playoffs, and our second string defense beat them. Yeah. So who knows, man? But I just think that this team coming in, thanks, babe. I think this team coming in is beatable. I think their defense is bad, but then again, we've seen it with Tennessee, and I think it's a perfect time to let Laser take over and see, what he can do. And I mean, you're kind of putting Laser. You're definitely putting Laser straight into the fire. You're giving him
without a doubt.
You let the whole freaking NFL community. You let everybody know that this dude's taking over play calls. You let everybody knows that you've been struggling, and you're putting them on prime time in a Monday night conference divisional game.
Well, that's what I texted you guys. I was surprised they announced it so early. I mean, if it was me, I'd come out. If there's a pregame press conference on Monday, I'd be like, yeah, I handed over play calling. And then what do the Vikings do? They're like, oh, shit. Well, now we got to look at Laser's tendencies. And I don't know. I just feel like I know it's 3 days or whatever, but still you gave Zimmer one of a defensive head coach. You gave him a heads up like, hey, it's not me calling plays this week.
I think it was just Nagy was under fire, man, and he was sick of hearing those questions. So he started that press conference with like, hey, before we get started, I just want to let everybody know this. And I think he was kind of put into a corner, and he didn't want those questions anymore, and feared the people doubting him, and was like, screw it, I'm starting off the press conference and I'm letting everybody know, and then we'll go from there. We'll let everybody focus on Bill, and I'll just go to damn managing the game. But it's something that is concerning that I read that in short down and distance, and in I want to say 2 minute, Nagy's input on play calling he'll have an input. Yeah, he'll have an input on play calling. Yeah. Why? You suck at those points.
I mean, that's the worst. I feel that's where he's the fucking worst.
Yeah, exactly.
that I don't. I mean, if you're going to give this guy an opportunity, give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
You're
Thanks
2
for
cents
getting me
right
in the
now.
red zone, Laser. Watch this freaking end around. They'll never see it coming.
Yeah, your 2 cents right now don't mean shit. Like, not to. It's frustrating at this point with the lack. When he was first brought in here, he was open. He was honest. He said our offense, it's this could be 3 years before we get to where we want to be. And Now here we are in year 3. We've had a quarterback change. The offense has not been able to do much of anything week over week until the defense plays soft. So at this point, something's got to give. I really hope Bill Lazor comes out and just shocks the world. I really do. I
feel bad for the situation he's in, though. I mean, you're down offensive lineman. Now you're down your starting running back. You've got,
I don't feel bad for him, man. Fuck that. You know what? People get hurt every year, and guess what? Like, man up. Like, whatever. Like, inspire your team. Be a leader. Inspire your team. And guess what? If you didn't have all undrafted free agents on the line and you had some sort of depth there, just having people isn't depth. Like, if you had more than undrafted free agents and you had people on that line to where you had to know going into the season, like, hey, if we lose 1 or 2 linemen in a COVID season where we expect to lose a lot of people, we might be in trouble.
That's why we drafted,
okay, man.
That's why we drafted 2 in the 7th round.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit, man. Like, how about you plan and whatever? But I do think, like, I don't care. No, I'm not giving anybody any breaks. Like, guess what? Everybody in the whole league is struggling. You seen the Vikings went into a fire sale almost at, like, fourth game of the season or third game. They almost went into a straight fire sale getting rid of people. And now look at them. Now they turned around and they're coming back. You got people all over the league that are stepping up and making things happen. And I really don't care, man. Like, that's your job. Figure it out. Like, it
is. Yeah.
Whatever. Yep. Like, that's like saying, like, if your garbage man showed up and it was raining out and the weather was shitty, is he only supposed to take half of your garbage because you feel bad for him that he's out there doing? Right. Fuck you. Take my garbage.
I'm paying you for a service.
So the Vikings, the last 2 weeks, they've beat the Packers by running the ball, which we've all seen. That's how you beat the Packers. You run the ball, you keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, you control the clock, and then you play good enough defense to get it done, which is exactly what they did. And then last week they played the Lions, who, in my opinion, are falling apart. Did they even have Matt Stafford last week?
Yeah, he played last week. He didn't play the week before.
He played for some of it. Remember, he got hurt at the end, and it was weird. They didn't even call it concussion protocol. They said he was being evaluated for a brain injury. And I was like, holy shit, like, who reports that straight off the side like that?
I missed that because I mean, I was writing notes down and stuff, so I wasn't fully listening in on what was happening. So I missed that.
It was weird, like, that they didn't say concussion or whatever, right? They just went right into brain injury. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I flipped over to the game and he was walking in the locker room. I'm like, he's obviously okay. Like, when I seen brain injury, I'm thinking this dude's laid up on the ground. His face mask is off of his helmet, and he's put on a cart going away, right? But he was walking to the locker room like, I don't know. I think it was just maybe a poor choice of words from the reporter or whatever. But it still was shocking for a minute. But then again, like, so just to go back real quick, and I know, you know what I'm sick of seeing, and I'm sure a lot of people in the chat are too, is people saying we need the fourth quarter Bears. Like, your fourth quarter Bears are no different than your first, second, and third quarter Bears. The defense drops into a damn prevent, and then things start to happen. Like, it's not that we get better in the fourth quarter. Yeah, maybe against Atlanta, right? Maybe you got a little spark there, which I'm hoping that Lazor, like, the same thing happens. But the team is. They're just, nothing gets put together. There is no building offensively for this team. It's all just like, hey, let's run this play. Let's run that play. Let's run. It's not like, hey, we ran this in the second quarter and I saw this. So let's go back, let's hit them with a play action here and then do this.
It's like he's playing Madden. He doesn't stack plays that work.
Right. Yeah.
If you got a defense that's keying in on your running back and they're in the backfield every time he gets the ball, yet you don't give anybody any help by running play action off that. And I mean, it would honestly. That's where I think Mitch would help because he has mobility. With our poor offensive line, you run a play action bootleg. Get the pocket moving, and then and hit one of your guys downfield. And Nick Foles doesn't give you that.
Yeah, I agree. You see the same thing. You see people say, well, you either gain mobility with Mitch, but you lose accuracy. I don't agree with that, really. Like, I mean, yeah, we've seen Mitch overthrow some balls and miss some plays. We've also seen Foles too. I would rather have a guy that can move the pocket and maybe. I mean, I don't break it all down. I don't know, but maybe lack a little bit of accuracy, but I don't think it's that much of a difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? I think you're an accuracy standpoint. I think you're better off with a guy who can scramble when your offensive line is struggling like that and get out of there and continue to extend a play with his feet than it is for Nick to try to stumble and then make a poor decision and throw the ball up.
We've seen Nick have space to run for a first down, and he'll back up from the line of scrimmage because he knows he just doesn't have that ability. He might get 2 or 3 yards, but he's not
a mobile guy. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I get nervous watching him run, for God's sake. I mean, something could happen, and imagine last week or this week, because I'm pretty sure Mitch has already been ruled out.
He has, and I know Franco just asked, yeah. Well, he got Slaughter now too, but I don't think he's elevated. I think he's just a practice squad guy. But I think whatever, man. I'm not a total Mitch truther, and I've been behind whatever. But I think Mitch would run this offense or any offense better than Nick Foles, just with the ability to extend plays. Because of what we have on the offensive line, I think he would. Right. I think he would run it better, and that's my perspective on it. I mean, I think there's been a lot of people in the chat that agree that there's no difference between the two, that this guy or that guy, but you get a better game out of Mitch being able to run and another threat. Like, look at some of these games where Mitch
at least makes the defense think about it.
Yeah, Mitch won us a couple games last year with his feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being able to change a defense, and that's no longer a threat. So that's
what I was saying earlier. We've got no run game.
Yeah.
Now you've got an immobile quarterback. So the I mean, look at what the Titans did last week. They pretty much blitzed every second and third down almost. Yeah. Well, at least it seemed like it. I mean, they pinned their ears back, and it was like, you want to beat us? Then you're going to have to complete some passes to do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we've got a very special guest with us today, ready to accept his badge of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in my buddy, man, Mike Schaefer. Mike, welcome to the show, man. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. It's good to see you guys again. It's been a while.
Man,
really an honor to be back, especially in this fashion. So thanks for bringing me back.
So for those of you that don't know, which I'm not sure there's many, but Mike is the guy behind the Gators, right? So check this out. I got the white one so far. Mike's got the orange.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing mine every day. People are like, "Oh, what do you got there?" And I just, hey, here we go. There's the blue right there.
Yeah.
The hat Mike's wearing, one of my favorite hats. It's on my Christmas list. I'm hoping my wife places that.
I saw the hoodie yesterday.
Yeah. But Mike has now at this point, the reason Mike is getting a badge of honor, he has started to donate the proceeds from the sale of the Gators to Bears Care, which is the charitable arm of the Bears organization. And Mike, your story was actually on NBC Chicago, I believe, right? Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got the idea for this, and what made you want to donate the proceeds?
Yeah, it goes back to August when Matt Nagy started wearing this one in training camp. I, like a lot of people, went to the internet to see if I could buy one. And I have no idea who made that one for him or where he got it. So I run a T-shirt business as a hobby on the side. and one of the suppliers that I work with was doing gaiters, so I made one just for myself. Friends and family started to ask about it, so I made a few more, and I had what I thought was a dumb idea, just to send a couple to Matt Nagy. I sent him the white one, and I sent him an orange one, and fast forward to the Saints game just a few weeks ago, and I got the TV on. It was out of sight, out of mind. I think those Gators arrived at Hallis Hall the day of the Rams game, so it was 2 or 3 weeks ahead of that. I'm watching the game. The first time they panned to him on the sidelines, he's wearing the gaiter, and I just lost my mind. I called my wife over. I'm like, you got to see this. So, yeah, it was something that started small, and then obviously when he wore it and the traction started to grow, I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because, A, I wanted to wear one. And then as interest started to grow, I figured, all right, well, let's make some more of these and get them out. So when NBC decided to air, I knew it was going to, really start to spread. And I wanted the proceeds to go to Bears Care and, let them, make some decisions of what to do with that money.
That's awesome.
And I mean, that right there, Mike, in itself is, the whole reason behind Badge of Honor. We love to recognize people that, yes, is the prerequisite to be a Bears fan? Not all the time, but, definitely if it's involved with the Bears and whether it's a player, a fan, whatever, we want to try to recognize those people to do that. So your custom Badge of Honor football is on its way to me, and then I will get it to you. And it's awesome, man, what you're doing. I love this thing. I mean, I could literally sit in my house and wear it, just scare the shit out of the cat. When
all this first started, they let us wear the net gaiters at work, and my guy Mike over here called me out because I ordered a Bears mask. And if you guys follow me on Facebook or Instagram or all of the above, you'll see that they sent me a Cincinnati Bengals mask. So, so I definitely posted about that, and I was like, what was wrong here? And my guy Mike here was like, you didn't order from Deep Dish Tees, so so I had to get on the site and check it out, and I'll probably be ordering something real soon. I need something dark though, because I work in a factory. So,
well, I got one of these. I got one of these for you, AC. So this will be in the mail tomorrow.
Oh, my dude.
Awesome.
That's
You are good
That's
to go.
what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. Man, it's awesome. If everybody in the chat, check out the bottom line there, deepdishtees.myspot or Shopify, I almost said Spotify.com. Check it out. Go over there. Mike, how's the order turnaround going? Well, first, obviously, welcome back. Pleasure having you back on again this season. But how's the order processing going? What's the turnaround time looking at? Fill the guys in and the chat in on all that stuff.
Yeah, so they're super easy to pick up. One-click order at deepdishtees.com. Turnaround time right now is about 10 to 14 days. We've been over-delivering on that expectation in most cases, but give it 10 days because it takes a while to get these things made.
Sure.
I didn't expect the orders to be as high as they are. So it does take a while to get through all that stuff. So I appreciate everybody's patience as we get things shipped out.
Yeah, for sure, man. You guys are going to go check it out. There's a bunch of stuff on there.
T-shirts,
and like Badger's saying, man, it's really to take, obviously for this pandemic to strike, right? And then to take this idea and run with it, and not to do it for yourself, man, but to give it back to to Bears Care and everything like that, dude. It's a true, just explanation of who you are and doing good things. There's a lot of people out there that would just take this money for them. You know what I'm saying? And they would just say, whatever. Like, look at this. I'm going to exploit a situation and do this. But definitely, man, it's stand up, and it's awesome that you're giving it back and going, with it from there, man. But a lot of this, what about other teams? Are you going to start doing other teams? Are you going to expand this outreach to some more? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff that you could do here, man.
Yeah, there is, but loyalty's stronger than money for me, man. I'll find other ways to make money. You'll never see one of these in green and gold In purple, blue and orange, till I die. So,
Mike, we're getting some questions in the chat about international shipping to Canada. I believe you ship both of those places, right?
Yeah, we ship everywhere. The supplier that I work with that does fulfillment has really good rates, affordable rates to ship anywhere in the world. So yeah, if you're in Canada, if you're in Mexico, if you're in Europe, you're just as welcome to an order as anybody here in Chicago or the States.
Awesome.
All right, brother.
Awesome. Well,
let us. What's your thoughts on this team right now? When Bill Lazor taking over, let's get into some Bears talk. What's your thoughts on all this? And where do you see this team going from here, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the only direction that they can go is up. At least I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
I think what Matt Nagy did this week shows what type of a leader he is, and anybody that's led people before, either in business, in sports, in whatever setting, when you do something like that, your players, your employees, they respond. So I fully expect this week that not just on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to see some better play calling. There's no doubt in my mind that we will. Is it that big of a difference maker? I don't think so. I mean, I think somebody said it this week that you can make a good offense better, but you can't make a bad offense good. Right, by just switching a play caller. But I think you're going to get more out of all the players, and I think that extends to the defense. I think on the defensive side of the ball, they see that. They see that their coach took something. He loves to call plays. Like, we know this, right? It's his favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
He's good at it, but, it's his favorite thing to do, and he gave it up. So, I do expect things to rebound. How much they rebound, I don't know. I mean, Monday's a test. Minnesota's headed in the opposite direction of us, and how the Bears are able to respond to that in prime time, I think will say a lot about what the rest of the season may look like.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. Totally. Yeah. We've talked numerous times on this show about the leader Nagy is, and this is something I think not only on our network but other networks have said. Maybe the play calling. I mean, this was talked about last year when things were going well. Maybe take the play calling away. So this has been an ongoing thing. And finally, I feel like the national media really got involved with it this week. And I had asked, we had just had George Bayless Berlissimo on with us as well. And I had posed this question to him too. Do you think they made this change because of the push from the national media, or okay, and the second part is, do you think it was Nagy that decided to do this with the coaching staff, or do you think it came from above?
Yeah, I think it likely came from above. I think it's been coming from above probably for several weeks, and I think it finally hit ahead. The last few weeks have just been so miserable, and as fans, like, we shouldn't be able to call a better game than a head coach in the NFL, but I think we all are now.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of both, but it is a testament to, his leadership skills and, the fact that he was willing to do it. So, I think it's a little bit of both, but I think there absolutely was, a message from above that something's got to change.
Yeah, I think so too, man. But I think, honestly, it was like, hey, well, this is what we think should happen. I mean, you're the head coach, right? If you want to die on that hill, then die on that hill. But things just aren't working out, and like I said earlier, I think for him, it is a win-win. And I want to see the head coach that is only the head coach. And I want to see how Nagy reacts to this, right? Like him taking that away and not having to call offense. We're going to see a totally different guy here. We're going to see a guy who, one, could be like, I would have did this, or I would have did that, or what I would have done could have worked, right? And could possibly see the guy that's doing that and critiquing the whole time. But I feel if we see the guy that's, hey, comfortable with his offensive coordinator, and now he's not critiquing, but he's trying to continue to help with the game, I think we're going to see a team that really turns around and changes things up. I think it matters what he does now, though, to see where we're going to go. If we're on a climb, or if we're just going to continue to, and I won't even say continue to spiral, but just continue to stay where we're at with nothing. Because I think the dude is really smart, and we've seen this happen in KC where he took over, and this happened to him in the past. So maybe he can do what Andy Reid did and stay the hell out of the offense and just be the head coach for these games and see what happens. I think we can really see something good here if he does that and doesn't turn into a critique, monster or machine or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be interesting to see on Monday night. Like, it's got to be tough, right? I mean, how he decides. When does he decide to hold back and not throw his 2 cents in and just kind of let Laser run things? So it'll be fun, I think, for us just to watch his facial expressions and his reactions and what he's communicating or not communicating, throughout the game. So it should be interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to pose
Hopefully,
a question to all of you guys. So we've heard, I mean, we can take this back to the Fox era too, about, having those eyes up in the booth and that can see things from a different vantage point things out. And yet, Mike just said it. We sit here as fans and we're feeling like we could call a better game than him. Why aren't the coaches in the booth recognizing things and radioing down to let these guys know, hey, they're coming defensively, they're set up in this front when we show this. I feel like that communication probably happens. Do you think, though, because of the plays are the way they are and how they're schemed, that we don't see any change?
I don't know. Like I said earlier, I just feel like with Laser calling plays, we're going to run the ball more, and we're going to use these tight ends, because that's what I saw him do up here in Cincinnati. When Eifert was healthy, they used him. When he wasn't, they still went to CJ Uzama and used him quite a bit as well. So I feel like the tight end position is going to be utilized more under Laser. Hopefully we'll see Komet get a couple balls thrown to him this week, and I don't know.
I mean, I think we will. I think we'll see his added touch on it. I know, like I said when we were talking to George earlier, Laser runs a whole almost every play is pre-snap motion to assist a quarterback to help him with it. Right, in 3 of the 4 teams or whatever leagues or years, I guess, that he was calling it, he was top 10 in rushing yards per play. So I think we'll see a different attack with that. But then again, we are kind of limited right now. Like we said, we got a guy he's pretty good at doing at a running game, but Montgomery's out, right? And there's no threat. There's no additional threat. There's no quarterback scrambling happening. Your line is all beat up. So to take a guy who's good in that regard and then to kind of have minimal success so far, I think he's going to have to kind of, do the dink and dunk. And like we've been saying, man, and extend their running game through short passes. Get CP out there, run some of these drag routes, get Miller going, get Mooney, underneath. And still throw the deep ball, but I don't think there's any real threat. I don't think any team is afraid of the Bears running game.
How can you be?
Yeah, I don't
How
think
can you be?
one that is. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think we'll see the exact same thing, right? I think Laser is going to come out. If you do see the exact same thing, you might as well take all the BU stuff and throw it in the fucking trash, because you can't tell all your players to BU and then handcuff your offensive coordinator when you give him a chance and tell him he's got to run these plays. That's just bullshit to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Mike, what are your thoughts, man? What do you think? You think he's going to be stuck in the Nagy offense, or you think he's going to be able to do his own thing?
Well, I hope he gets to do his own thing. And I was going to say that, in response to Badge's comment about the coaches in the booth, like I think a lot of it is Nagy's stubbornness, right? So before today, like if it's not on the Denny's menu, it's not getting called, right? So like I think that had a lot to do with it. I'm definitely not into the X's and O's as much as you guys, and I don't have the football mind that you guys have. But I think his stubbornness probably came into play before, and we have to hope that he gives Bill the opportunity to call a game, and he doesn't get his way. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I want to highlight Josh here in the chat. I formation. Well, Managi didn't come here to run the I formation.
Hey, maybe Bill did. Maybe Bill came here to run.
Maybe Bill did. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you say you don't have the football mind that we do, but you spent many a Sundays in those stands watching these Bears. I gotta wonder, how has this pandemic changed your Sundays as far as tailgating and fellowship? Or are you doing anything these days?
Talk about sending somebody on a downward spiral. Way to bring up bad shit, AC.
What? I'm just curious.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it stinks, guys. Like especially on a cold Sunday morning when the sun's coming up, I'm supposed to be leaving my house, heading down to the lakefront, tailgating, and I'm sitting on my couch. And I'm watching the same pregame shows as everybody else, and I should be 12 beers deep and getting ready to walk into the stadium. It stinks. And I really hope that the Bears and the city can work out a deal and that the pandemic subsides to a point where maybe late December or in the month of December that we're able to get back. They need us. And if we're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, and other teams have fans, they have that edge. Granted, it's not many, but we need that too. So, if Lori Lightfoot is watching the podcast right now, I hope that she hears that loud and clear. We need to get back into the stadium. It stinks. No other way to put it.
Yeah, it's
I didn't mean to bring up anything bad. I just didn't know if you were, cooking it up at the house and throwing some beers back on Sundays or what your routine was.
Next to pretty much every Sunday, he's coming over for games here and there, and I've had family over. But yeah, there's been a few games where I watch it by myself, and it's just not the same. I'm screaming. My wife's working on her school stuff, and she's telling me, I'm like, oh, "This is how it's supposed to go." So yeah, it's been so different.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, even as a guy living in New York, not New York State. I'm in central New York. I'm not near the city for all those people that aren't fans of the city. But, I have one buddy that is a Bears fan that's local to me. And, we usually try to get together to watch the games because his boys are big fans too. And they're even kind of to the point where it's like, man, to spend 4 hours or 5 hours on a Sunday to watch the product that's on they're just not, I mean, the kids are teenagers, so they're doing their own thing, and it's tough. I mean, the defense is so damn good again, year over year, and it's just frustrating to continually see an offense, from an organization that has struggled over their history to find a quarterback. And, now trying to get amped up for a game, it's tough. I find myself like, I wake up on game day, I'm ready, like, let's go. We've got a show to do. But then we have a little bit of time. And by the time the game starts, I'm kind of like, well, how many yards will the offense put up in the first half today? It's getting harder week over week, and seeing just how they've progressively gotten worse, it makes you less excited to be, we're playing on Monday Night Football. Like, we should be totally amped for this. And it's kind of like, man, it's a national stage. The Vikings aren't that good on the defensive side of the ball, so we should put up some points. And then you're like, oh yeah, but wait, we don't have any offense.
Yeah, like I said from the tailgate account earlier this week, wouldn't it be so Bears for them to come out and put up a plus 30 game on Monday Night Football? Yeah. I mean, it would leave everybody with the Nick versus Mitch debate. It would leave everybody with you see Nagy sucks at play calling and Laser is a god. It would just be perfect for Chicago media and Chicago, all of us, for them to come out, put up a damn 30 spot on the Vikings and just destroy them. And then next week roll out against the Lions and put up like 13 with fucking, almost all field goals and just look like shit again. I mean, it's kind of what we've grown to know and love. I mean, maybe not love, but it's what we've grown to know with this team. And this is what happens, man. And honestly, I mean, I know we all hope for the best, right? Everybody hopes for the best. And this is our change. Like, here we go. Now we're going to win. And nothing else has changed, but whatever, man, we're on the bus and we're going. And and this is what's going to happen. And how could we lose to the Vikings, who have just been shit this year, minus the last 2 games, and all this stuff just plays to the perfect Chicago Bears fandom of what we go through every week, man.
Like Al Pacino said, just when I think I'm done, they pull me back.
Yeah. I mean, and let me move into the injury report. I know nothing's official, but obviously, Montgomery's out in concussion protocol. I honestly, seeing that play, I didn't think it was concussion. The way that his left arm,
I thought it was his shoulder.
Yeah, the way his left arm was just kind of hanging when he walked off. I didn't think it was concussion, but he's still in, concussion protocol. We don't know whether or not Miller's going to play. Bojack didn't practice this week, or at least the last 2 days, because of personal reasons. So I'm not sure what those were. Jenkins is out with an ankle. Komet's questionable with a groin. McManus is out with a hand. Mingo's shoulder questionable. Mustipher knee doubtful. A-Rob, Spriggs are both questionable. Mitch is obviously out with a shoulder. So we got this beat up team, and primetime game coming up.
Got a question for you in the chat, Mike, from our old buddy, Mr. Greg Braggs. He wants to know, if you had to choose, would you rather the Bears just lose at this point to demand change, or have them keep winning?
What up, Rags? Yeah, I mean, I saw Rags posted that last week or after the last game. Would you rather see them win out or lose out? And I was blown away at all the people that said lose. Like, if you're a Bears fan and you watch a Bears game and you're not wanting them to win, I don't care what their record is. I don't care if they're 2-9. Like, if you're not watching and wanting them to win, you're not a true fan. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, maybe I'm dumb, right? So, like,
that was my exact reply to that poll.
Hard overhead, I think, always for me. I would never, ever, ever root for this team to lose. Period.
Yeah. Me neither. Braggs, that I honestly thought Fat Mike tapped into your Twitter account and released that question. But I'm with you, man. I'm a win out, like, go for the W's. I really, even if you're at a point to where I don't care if you've won one damn game and you're at a point to the very last game of the season, and if you lose, you get the overall pick, and if you the number 1 overall pick, and if you win, you get the 4th, or say whatever, right? I'm still coaching my team to win. Yeah. I'm still telling them, like, you don't lay down on the field like that and just give it up. It's not in me. I don't see how you as a coach could sell to your team and have them believe in you the next season that we should lose. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know how that happens.
Here's a second part. To it. So beyond win out, would you prefer change at this point or hope they figure it out?
What was beyond what?
So beyond win out, would you prefer to see change in Nagy pace, or just let them keep going, hope they figure it out?
No, I mean, you got to hope they figure it out, because if we have to make that change, that's a restart, and you lose the years, like the window that this defense is going to be around and good.
Yeah,
you get 2-3 years. Like the playoff windows, the championship windows are a lot shorter than they used to be. So if you're rooting for change, like, you're just going to be sitting around waiting for a long time. So no, I hope they figure it out. Like, I've never been like preseason, like, I don't care who the quarterback is, right? Like, I was never, I hope Mitch really figures it out, or I want Mitch to succeed, or I want Foles. I want the guy that's going to be best at the position to succeed. Like, I want them to win. And I do hope that Mitch at some point can be brought back in and have some success, because it's like, I don't want to start over. I don't want us to have to go through that cycle again. So I hope they're able to keep these guys, and I hope that things start to click. But I was going to say too, to the last point is, look at the NFC. There's no clear-cut favorite. So
right.
Team in the NFC right now.
I don't even know if you can say the Seahawks. They just got smoked by the Bills
last week. Yeah.
You look at Tampa Bay, New Orleans, who everybody's, Tampa Bay was going to be the next coming of the greatest show on turf because they signed Antonio Brown, and they went out and got their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
Packers lose the Vikings.
We almost beat the Saints. So, to hope that this team loses wouldn't make any sense to me.
And I don't think it's not like a reset is guaranteed, though. Like, you can lose out and reset. What does that guarantee you? It doesn't guarantee you anything except for a losing season.
Right.
It's not like, I mean, shit, if that was the case, the Lions would be the best team in football. The Browns would be fucking dynamic. You know what I mean? Teams that lose out don't turn it all around the next year. Teams that change front offices and change everything, they don't climb to the top. It's not a guarantee that you losing is going to make you better at anywhere on your team.
Right. Look at our track record of hiring GMs. What leads anybody to believe that the next one's going to be, a superstar? Yeah, exactly. And I don't see that it's really beneficial to do that and then to say like, oh, we're going to be better next year now. I just think that it's you go in and you get the W, man. That's just what you go for. I'm not a fan of the reset. Do I think people need to change? Do I think places need to change? I do. I think hopefully like Laser finds this, and goes. And I still think Pace is a good GM. I won't say that he's like we were saying that one year, like in the running for the number one in the league, because I think other moves should have been made. What's the basis to them not making those moves? I don't know. Is there somebody holding his, hands saying, hey, you can't do that, or no, we're not going to go that way, or deal with what you got? I really don't know. But I honestly think that these guys are both safe at the end of the season. I think they're safe, and I think we're going into next year with the same staff. And unfortunately, if Laser does come out and he starts putting up 30 racks, right, and we're all like, hell yeah, Laser's going to get a job offer.
Coach.
He's going to get a job offer from somebody else. So then next year we're like, well, shit, now we don't have Trubisky. We don't have Foles, or we still have Foles, and we don't have Trubisky. And now our offense coordinator who came out and tore it up last year is now gone. So where do we go from here? So I don't know, man. I just think that there's a lot of people that just think that dropping every game and losing out will help your team. I don't believe in that. I don't think it will. So let's see. What do we got here?
The New York Jets.
Well, I mean, that hasn't really worked out for them either. The Jets
what are they going to do? Keep Gase? And
you might turn around and see. I know there's been a little talk, and Trevor and Lawrence came out and said he doesn't want any more questions about it. But what if Lawrence was like, Lawrence,
no, I'm staying at Clemson.
Yeah. What if he comes down and he's like, no, I'm going to stay one more year because he's not going to say because I don't want to go to the Jets. But hey,
I got a better team around me down here than I do up
there. So we got this is the exciting part of the show, right? Bold predictions, score predictions, shout outs, all that good stuff.
Yeah, let's start with Mike. Let's start with Mike. Get a bold prediction, score predictions, and then we'll let you cut out of here, Mike. But give us your score prediction, and then a bold prediction if you got one, or you could just do what we do and just make it up in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I started with you, and that's kind of why I continue to talk, because I'm trying to give you time to think of a bold prediction and delay the inevitable here. But
I got three. I came prepared today.
All right, let's do it
for you. I don't know how bold they are, but I'll give that a whirl. A score prediction, I feel like a broken record because this has basically been a score prediction for me for the last 3-4 weeks. It's hard when you have an offense that can't score to come up with a number that's higher than 17, 20, 24. I'm going to go 24-23 Bears. And I think it will come down to a late field goal, either a miss by Bailey or a make by Santos to seal the deal. But I got us winning the game 24-23.
Nice. Yes, I'll take it. I mean, that's more points than we've scored. But I'm in the same camp as you, man. I always go with a higher score, and it never happens. What about bold prediction, man? What do you got on bold predictions?
All right, so I'll give you 3. And again, I don't know how bold these are. The first bold prediction is Dalvin Cook under 100 yards. Maybe 1 touchdown. I think the Bears defense, like I said before, I think they come out with a little bit of extra boost with the change in the guard on the offensive side of the ball, the play calling. I think the last week, we'll see a repeat of where they left off against the Titans. Derrick Henry was held to, I think, under 70 yards. So I think that they'll do the same thing, hold him. I think the over-under is 86.5. I'm not quite confident enough to say under on that number, but he'll be under 100. Second bold prediction, Darnell Mooney goes off.
Nice.
I think we will exploit a pretty weak Minnesota secondary, and I think Mooney's going to come up with a big-time play, clutch play at the end of the game, home run ball. Look for him over 100 yards and at least a touchdown, maybe a pair of TDs. And then the third bold prediction I have for you guys is more of an intangible. It's not going to be anything that happens between the lines, but I'm going to call Matt Nagy this season has been wearing his blue gator game in and game out, and then he shocked me and the rest of the world with the white gator against the Saints. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I have no insider information,
I know what it is.
He's rocking orange on Monday. He'll be wearing one of these guys on Monday night. I caught a glimpse. The ABC 7 News showed a clip of practice from Friday. It was super cold, and he was wearing 2 gators. Top gator was his traditional navy gator. There was something orange underneath that gator. So we'll see. We will see on Monday night.
The Bears will be wearing, and the Bears will be wearing the orange jerseys on Monday. So, I mean, it all comes in line, and I think it works out. I think you might be hitting on these things here, man.
You heard it here first, fellas.
There it is. All right, Michael, we appreciate it, man. We'll let you cut out of here. We appreciate you joining the show. Thank you again for coming back. Everybody check out Deep Dish Tees. Get your orders in, man. Get your orders in, and we appreciate everything you're doing. And congratulations on a badge of honor, man. And thank you for the charitable donations to Bears Care, man.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thank you guys, and a shout out to you guys for bringing me on, for helping spread the awareness of this, and a shout out to everybody out there, Braggs especially, for helping promote this. So all the likes, all the retweets, all the orders, all the clicks make a difference. So thank you, everybody out there that's done that and that will continue to do that. I've got a goal. Right now we're at $1,600 raised for Bears Care, and I think we'll pass up 2K on Monday night. But I'd like for us to hit 5K by the end of this season. So keep those retweets coming. Thank you, everybody.
That's all Barflies.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Awesome.
Take care, brother.
All right, boys, let's get your bold predictions, score predictions. And let's, if you're in the chat right now and you haven't hit up Deep Dish Tees yet, let's get Mike over 2K by tonight. Let's just get him over 2K. Let's get him over 2K by tonight. That's the goal. Let's get him to 2K by tonight, man. I think we can do it. It's $400. I think that's an easy feat right now. So let's get in there, get these orders going, and and support our boy and support what he's doing. Not only for Bears Care, but for everybody, man, and just setting the example and showing the way. AC, let's come over to you, dude. Let's get score predictions, bold predictions. Send it. What you got?
My bold predictions, I'm going defensive, and Eddie Jackson finally gets a pick 6 that stays on the freaking board. So that's my first bold prediction. My other bold prediction, I'm rocking my Khalil Mack today. I think he's going to have 2 sacks, one of them being a strip sack. The Bears win 17-10. And the offense doesn't look great, but doesn't look terrible. I think Ryan Nall's going to come out and look decent. I don't know if he'll look great, but he'll look all right. He'll get the job done. So that's my prediction. Eddie Jackson pick 6, Mac 2 sacks, 1 with a strip sack, and Bears win 17-10.
All right, Mr. Badgley, what do you got, man? Bold predictions, score predictions, send them.
Yeah, man. So I actually have 2 bold predictions. So my first bold prediction, excuse me, is the Bears defense will hold Dalvin Cook to under 50 yards rushing. I don't think this should come as a surprise, considering we shut down Derrick Henry pretty well last week. My second, and I think I already did this once before this year, but at some point, fucking Cole Kmet has to be involved in this offense, and I'm really hoping it's tomorrow night. So I'm going to say that Cole Kmet has 6 catches for 54 yards and 2 touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball, and that my score prediction, and AC, man, this is like 2 weeks in a row or like 2 of the last 3. I'm right with you, dog. 17-10. Bears beat the Vikings. Something's got to give, fellas. I don't know what it is, but something's got to give at this point. I'm hoping it's Cole Kmet. We know the defense going to do its job. Man, hopefully this offense steps up this week, man.
All right, boys. You know what I'm going with? I already kind of said it in the tweet earlier this week. I'm going with a 30-point game. I'm going with Bears 30, Vikings 17. I'm going with Ryan Nall exploding. I'm saying, like, I know it's everything counts against me. I know it's horrible, but I think in the short receiving game he's going to break one open, right? And I'm going with a run, some rushing yards for Nall. I will say my bold prediction is Ryan Nall has more rushing yards than Dalvin Cook. At the end of the game, I'm saying Nall has more rushing yards than the number 2 rushing leader in the NFL. I'm saying this kid's coming out and he's going to do it, man. Score prediction was 30-17. How we get him, I don't know. I'll say Nall, Graham, whatever. Nall, Graham. Let's go with one for the defense. And then let's go with a handful of field goals, and maybe 3 field goals for Santos. I think that gets us to 30. So let's just go with that. But I'm kind of. I know the Bears are going to shut down Cook. I think they're going to shut down his rushing game, right? I don't know if they shut down him receiving, but that's what puts me at Nall having more rushing yards than Dalvin Cook. And they're called bold predictions for a reason. Is it a fucking long shot? Of course it is, but. Either way, I think that's what I'm going with, man. I think it's possible, and I like Nall, man. I know everybody like there was a.
I do too, dude.
There's a lot of people who loved Gentry. There's whatever. Nall's my guy, man. I like Nall. Yeah. I wanted to see him. Last year I was calling for him too. I just think that this kid, he plays with a temper, and he comes out and he to have a guy that will hit the hole that explode, and then even after he gets see, I knew Greg was the Gentry.
There it is.
I agree. I like Gentry too, man. I like Gentry too, but I'm just saying, I like Nall is that category for me. Nall is my Gentry, and I think we're gonna see something out of this kid, man. And I do think that this is going to be one of those, like we said, earlier, I think this is going to be one of those damn, holy shit, the Bears are back and and they're going to get us all pumped up for
the major letdown against the Packers after the bye.
You know what I'm saying? So who knows? But I think that's where that is. Put that up. I'll put it up, George. I'll tweet it out from the account here in a little bit. That's my bold prediction, and we'll see. George is like, put your name on that. No, I'm kidding. Barrelissimo, thank you for joining us on the show. Everybody in the chat, thank you. Mr. Mike Schaefer, again, many thanks to you, man. Appreciate everything you're doing. Everybody who joined us in the chat today.
I got some shout outs.
Oh shit. Go ahead. Shout away.
So obviously we want to thank Eldo Gandia, everyone at the Barroom Network, Jamie Dragani, the ball girl, kicking out these balls for us here for Badge of Honor. We got some other stuff with Jamie in the works as well that we're super excited about. Yeah. So please, if you haven't, go visit her site. If you're looking for custom sports balls, trophies, Christmas ornaments, cutting boards, you name it, Jamie's killing it. Help her out, help her business grow. The Within Reach Foundation, guys, we're excited. We've got these balls that we're going to start raffling off this upcoming week. So be prepared. We're finalizing the details, and hopefully we'll have it all locked down here very soon. Steve Zimmerman, I know you're not live with us today, man. Thinking about you, dude. If you need anything, I know all of us here at the network, man, we're here for you if you need anything, bro. Heidi Zimmerman, so nice to see you in the chat this week. We can't thank you enough for, talking about us on Twitter, social media, Facebook. We appreciate it so much. My man, Lil Nicky, dude, it's been a long time. It's nice to see you on Twitter. Miss you, dude. And we definitely got to thank, and a little bit of an announcement here, a new sponsor to the Barfly Tailgate Show. Our friends at Audacia have partnered up with us. We got some great stuff coming from them. They will be accepting a badge of honor the week after the bye when we play the Packers. Yeah. So we'll have the guys from Audacia on, tell you about all the stuff they're doing. They've got some great stickers out. They just released a rookie pack last week with Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, and Jalen Johnson. And yes, I already ordered mine. I actually ordered two because maybe one of you listening in may win one. I don't know. We'll have to see. But tons of great stuff coming. Don't forget, after the game tomorrow, you can catch Bear Football with Eldo, John Buffone, Tyler Ellis, our man, the Gaines Report. So many great shows on this network. More coming. Holy shit. I just talked a lot. I'm done.
All right. Hey, and before I go over to AC, you got any shout outs? I'll come to you first. What you got?
I just want to shout out to you guys and shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Barlissimo for coming on with us and Mike Schaefer that come on with us. And I didn't mention it because, it's been about a week, but I'm a little bit Twitter famous. So I just want to shout out to everybody on Twitter. I made a little tweet that said Mitch Trubisky will be the next Ryan Tannehill when he gets away from when he gets away from Nagy, and it blew up a little bit. I had like 1,500 likes and over 100 retweets, which I've never had anything anywhere in that stratosphere on Twitter before. So I guess people kind of liked it. Some people shat on it, and some people put it on. Old takes exposed. So maybe in 3 to 5 years, if Trubisky doesn't do anything, your boy will blow up again. But I tried to give the Barroom a shout out on there just to get people to come over and check us out. Because, if you guys are Barflies, you already know we cover everything Chicago sports. We got a Cubs podcast, and we got Stacey King on here. I have a stream if you like watching TV and stream shows. We got Goon and Tooch will be coming up here in about a half hour to get your injury reports in if you guys are fantasy football lovers. So, man, just shout out to the Barroom and shout out to you guys for letting me come on here every week and do my weekly therapy session.
Oh, man. What is that? Okay. Hey, so either way, no, I wasn't talking about UAC. Either way, we appreciate. I tried to put something up that George said. I put the wrong thing up. Yeah. Either way, thank you everybody for joining us, man. We appreciate everybody's support. Like Badge said, we've got new sponsors coming in. We've locked it down with Manscaped. So we're gonna have some of that more coming at you. The Audacia guys, the Accelerate Mortgage, and Jamie, and it's all thanks to you guys and your downloads and listens and joining us every week. So we appreciate everybody, man. And let's go to prime time. Let's get this thing to prime time and get this dub, man. We're gonna leave you guys with a big old fat ass bear down.
Bear down.